Most people would wait until about 50,000 views to do this for one specific video, but we're not most people.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, my name is Alec, and
My name is Jaden.
Jaden.
And you might remember me from my last YouTube short where I played Mario is Missing for the first time, and that game borderline sucks.
Yeah, I don't even think you knew I was taping, did you, at the time?
No, I didn't.
No? But God, what a reaction.
Yeah.
He's terrific. So, anyway, top 100 90s rock songs. It's a video I never thought would actually take off the way it did. Because, well, my first one didn't, but that's only because it got copyright claimed, like, right out of the gate.
Yeah.
But that's because we were new to this. We didn't know what the hell we were doing.
Yeah, so was I.
In case you can't tell, he's been my editor since day one.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a bit of a learning curve at first. Behind the scenes is very difficult to pull off. This was actually our second attempt at a list. And let's just say this is when we were starting to incorporate the 7-second rule. Because the first one, we did not follow that. And copyright claims up the wazoo.
Yeah. The rules don't like longer clips.
No, they do not. And they do not like actual clips. You gotta kind of zoom in. I don't get it either.
Yeah.
But the second one was when we were trying that out for the first time, trying both those methods. Which is why some of them clips are kind of shorter than what I anticipated. Like some are 2 to 3 seconds instead of 6 to 7.
Yeah.
And that's also why they cut off like almost super abruptly in places I didn't plan because, well, we were new to this. We didn't know when it would cut off really.
Doing those was actually my first ever like top list that I ever done ever, and it was something really brand new.
Yeah, but he actually did a pretty good job editing for the most part.
It was definitely a kick in the butt after editing all those clips, though.
Oh, the clips, putting them together, no problem for a guy like this. He edits his own stuff for the last, 7 or 8 years now?
Someone like that.
Yeah, he's got his own channel, in case you didn't know. He's been doing this forever. But the problem is, even when you're not doing something like editing music lists all the time, so when you jump over to that kind of subject, again, it's a learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to call this section Things He Did Wrong. I bet you noticed by now that there are a couple of typos in the music video because, well, autocorrect for one thing in the editing system that we used.
Autocorrect, let me tell you.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't catch them at the final thing because
there's some times where I caught the autocorrect, literally autocorrecting something that was literally meant to be correct.
Yeah, that makes no sense because the two typos that I know of in this video are actually very simple words. For example, you might have noticed that Cherry Pie by Warrant is spelled with only one R in cherry, which I actually don't mind because you can tell what you mean. But the one I don't get how it screwed up is Heart-Shaped Box by Nirvana became Heat-Shaped Box, which is a completely different thing. I have no idea how that happened. Yeah, that's happened. Go back and look at it, and yeah, it's Heat-Shaped Box. And actually, I didn't catch it at first. You know who did? My dad, when I showed him the video, was like, wait, doesn't that say Heat-Shaped Box? I was like, wait, it does! So, I don't know how that happened.
You can blame autocorrect for that.
Yeah, well, it's gotten a lot better since then. You know, honestly, I haven't had you back to do a list for a while. Maybe we should do that again. Because, surprise, surprise, ever since that list, I've actually been editing my own lists. But that's not to say that he's bad at it. It's just our schedules haven't conflicted, so I've been doing all the work myself for once.
Yeah, and throughout the times where I helped him make the list and doing the editing, he also came to tell me how do I do this, and I taught him how it's done, and he definitely got the gist of it.
Yeah, fun story, but if it wasn't for me meeting this guy, then there wouldn't be a YouTube channel for you to subscribe to in the first place.
Yeah.
Because after my first video, that was just blind luck that it actually got uploaded. I had to go through a lot of hoops because what I did was I filmed it on my phone like always, but I didn't know how to upload it. So I downloaded it to my computer, and we had to go through my parents' email and stuff to get it to go to YouTube in the first place. And that's why the video quality on that video is so horrible to begin with, is because it went through all sorts of filters. I'm just, you know, and I didn't want to go through that again with my second video, like at all. But then like 2 months after that video popped up, guess who came into my life? And he's like, there's this thing on your phone, this plus button. I was like, wait a second, that's what that's for, to upload videos? So yeah, he helped from pretty much the beginning. So you got him to thank for all my videos since then.
Yep.
Makes it a whole lot easier, just that little plus button. They can't say upload on a circle. They have to put the plus button. I was like, okay, you know what? Sometimes I just don't get symbolism.
Yeah.
Not that this is a good segue or anything. I'm just off the top of my head. But a lot of comments I got on this video are from people who's like, well, why wasn't this on the list? Why wasn't this on the list? And I do my best to explain. I reply to your comments a lot. And I repeatedly state that there's only 100 spots. And some of the stuff that made it onto the list is the stuff that I thought of originally. So if I missed a lot of bands, well, yeah, that's on me, but just consider them, in 101 to 1,000 or whatever,
Somewhat in your high top list.
Yeah, high top list. But in case you were wondering, when I made this list, when I wrote it out, there were 3 that I count that got changed at the last minute. So I want you to know what those were. Now you may notice that I put Zombie by Cranberries in spot number 88. And a couple people say that that's too low. It's a timeless classic. And I was like, okay, yeah, I see it now. But at the time I didn't. No excuse for that. But you might be interested to know the original song that was in that spot that's considerably, maybe spot 200 or something. I just put it there originally because it's my favorite song from these guys. But number 88 was supposed to be Black Balloon by the Goo Goo Dolls. Now, I'm glad to say that Iris did make it on the list, in a very high space, mind you. But Black Balloon is actually my favorite over Iris. I just put Iris on there because it's the more iconic one. So that's how that works. And in number 81, it was supposed to be The Way by Fastball. And halfway through downloading the clips, I was like, you know what? I don't like the sound of the song. I don't think it makes a good rock song. It's a good alternative. But you know what? Maybe something... Oh, wait. There's another song I forgot to think of the first time around. Good. Better than Ezra. Well, why not? Besides, it's a good song, And last but not least, in spot number 53, it was supposed to be... Well, actually, one of my favorite Meatloaf songs. Everything Louder Than Everything Else. But I already had one of his more iconic ones, I'd Do Anything for Love, in 24. And I thought that was good enough because there was another one I forgot about, and just halfway through the clips, I was like, oh man, I should throw in a good old classic rock band on here. Not that I haven't done that enough times on this list, if you couldn't tell by Kiss and GNR being on here. But some people want to know why Thunderstruck wasn't on the list. And for me, it's just because I don't like the backing vocals in it. I just don't. I picked Money Talks because it's catchier, and because it actually gives the rest of the band something to sing. You know, they're there in the background on vocals. And I was like, I can't think of another AC/DC song that does that, and it's my favorite, so I figured why not? It goes 53, and that's all the changes I made that I know about. What do you think? Would you have liked the originals in there?
The originals would definitely be definitely would have been a nice touch for them, and I definitely think if we ever did like another list that we would include some honorable mentions like the ones you talked about, like those other songs, we could put them as honorable mentions, like actually like not towards like the end of number one, but after we get done with number two, before we go on to number one, we could do an honorable mention list.
That is what most people do. I'm not. It's very actually hard to pull off though. Did you actually know about the songs I just mentioned?
Uh,
Like off the top of your head, you don't know how they go.
I hate to admit it, but majority of the songs I don't really know about. There's some that I do, but majority of them.
Yeah, fun story. Most of the songs I came up with for this list, he doesn't even know about, or didn't when we did it.
I wasn't born in the 19th century. I was born in 2005, so I barely had any idea of what some of them are, but I soon started to get into some of the old classic songs, but there's still a lot I need to listen to.
Yeah, well, funny story. There was this comment that said that we didn't know 90s music, that we obviously weren't born in the 90s. But here's the problem. That comment was after yours, actually, when you said you were the helper and editor for this video.
Yeah.
And there's a comment after that I saw that was like, well, you obviously weren't born in the 90s. This list is crap. And it sounded like very, very mean. I was like, this guy shouldn't harass my editor. I mean, I forgot to mention that part, but I lit into him pretty big. I was like, what? It doesn't give you the right to boss people around like that. It's my list. I control what goes on it. And make your own if you want to. But I just thought that was pretty scummy of him to attack Jaden like that.
Yeah.
But Jaden also said something else in that comment, that he actually has a favorite that I introduced him to on this list. What was it?
It was Get a Haircut.
Yeah, George Thorogood. I was like, that was the first one I ever heard, and pretty much one of my only George Thorogood songs that I like, because trust me, I do not like George Thorogood that much. I mean, I Drink Alone is okay once in a while, and Bad to the Bone is a classic. I love it. But other than those two and Get a Haircut, I'm not a fan. Not really. For the most part, I controlled where the songs would stop and start. I mean, like I said, the 7-second thing, yeah, that's why it stops so abruptly and starts in a weird place sometimes. But for the most part, I figured out where the song should, where that 7 seconds would be coming from. Except one. I actually gave you a little leeway on one song because I couldn't figure out where I wanted it to stop and start. So, ladies and gentlemen, the one song that he figured out the starting and stopping point for where the song would end up is actually a Metallica song, Whiskey in the Jar, which that came in, where was that? Number 36. Number 36 is all him. And I actually like where it ended up.
Yeah, so did I.
And that would have led to bigger executive decisions like that in the future if my schedule wasn't so busy and I had to do all the other lists myself.
And I was in college during when we were during the progress of making these lists. So it kind of made things a little difficult to get it out so quickly.
A little hectic.
Yeah.
And also, it's actually a bit of a relief to do all this myself, because there's one thing that was a major hassle in the first two lists, which is this was the second, so in case you couldn't tell already. But he edited it all on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with that is, in order to get to my phone, we had to airdrop it.
Yeah.
So we actually had to be like 2 inches away from each other in order to get to my phone so I could upload it.
And it was a very time-consuming process.
Yeah, the first couple times or so, it didn't even work. So
And then there was a time where it actually does work.
yeah, very nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
And of course, you got the time it takes to upload it. And it's like 30 minutes? Oh, come on. Fun fact, I just released a 10-minute video the other week, the one of him playing Mario is Missing. It took like 49 minutes just to upload 9 minutes and 56 seconds of footage. That's insane. And I don't know if it's YouTube's update or just my phone update being stupid. I don't know, but it is very taxing.
If it's something to do with YouTube, they need to buff their uploading speeds that they have.
Yeah. You know, it doesn't even say uploading anymore. You know, the uploading with the dot. It's a circle. It's a circle with an arrow. There's a circle with an arrow in the video when it uploads, and it's like, I'm not a fan of that at all.
Yeah. The first time I saw that, I was like, that's something new.
No. That's all the time we have to address certain issues that I've been wanting to get off my chest for a while.
And also discuss the process that we did making these lists.
Yeah. Well, the first two anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, we still got a lot of learning to do with this. If you'll recall my underrated 2000 songs list, those songs weren't meant to bleed into each other like that. That was actually pre-programmed into iMovie like that. And I was like, I never encountered anything like that before, because I thought the pre-packaged function was, one after the other, like the first two lists. So when it came up with Dissolve, I was like, oh, so that's how it ended up like that. So I didn't mean to do it like that. But overall, I did like the effect it created, kind of like the memory zooming into another. I did like how it ended up, but that wasn't the intended purpose of that. But for my top 50 underrated 80s songs list, those are my favorite to work on. Those videos are pretty much my favorites that I like how they turned out, along with the 90s list that we're talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
Those three are my favorite. And as for the first one that you need VPN to see still, we're thinking about doing a re-edited version of that. We're just trying to figure out how that's going to work, and if it'll actually retain all the views that are on it already. Because
we'll try to figure out something.
Yeah. Anyway, that has been behind the scenes with me and Jaden, and I hope you enjoyed us talking about the top 100 90s rock songs video.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much big learning curve, but a hell of a fun product overall, right? Okay. Well, see you next week.
And also, from last video, please agree with me that Mario is Missing sucks.
It really does, though. It really does. And they made more than one of those, too.
Yeah.
I gotta show you the AVGN video that he did, because he goes not only through Mario is Missing, but the rest of the educational ones, too.
Yeah.
And they get worse from there. They get worse.
We might do a documentary about that later, but...
Maybe.
We'll see you guys later.
All right. Bye.